Okay, welcome back to Our Last Crusade, or The Rise of a New World. Anime Review, Episode number 2. This one discussing just 2 episodes of the series, episodes 4 and 5. Intersection. First, it's basically... Yeah, there's only just 2 episodes discussing because that's how far book 2 is at for. First you have the Battle for the Vortex, and you have Awakening of the Vortex. The first portion of the first episode has nothing to do with the Vortex, though. Nope. Starts out with Ishika and his group in pretty much what appears to be this world version of Las Vegas. Yep, they got to go casino to start gambling. And the captain reveals why she wanted to come here. The Greys might buy themselves a tank for the group so they can make a fast getaway. Like, okay, so, at least not here for pleasure. Though, the actual reason why is because they needed some R&R before they go on the next big mission, whenever that is. Of course, they will be training. And Alice, just by sheer coincidence, is scheduled to go to Casino City. Now, she wanted to go Neutral City, and her mate is, no, this is Ren, mind you, that's her name, Ren. Because you might run into that swordsman again. And here's something by sheer coincidence. They're in the same vicinity of each other, they walk by each other, and they don't see each other. This is probably due to the way the animation does it. Because in the book itself, they don't really see each other until the very end of the book. Which, kudos for the anime having that basically that good continuity. You have Alec just sitting on a slot machine. Of course, Itsuka tries it because he basically loses. Alec just wins her first time. And she doesn't need the winnings because she's, part of the royal family. So it really is. So, look, just by sheer coincidence, Nene just happens to be nearby. Of course, Nene has never met Alice before. Ooh, you really... Oh, good. You use the money for the tank for the captain. And, of course, Alice will hear about this. Okay, we can have this share the winnings. And, okay. And they pretty much finish the thing there. And then right after that, they go to a fortune teller. First, it's Alice going to a fortune teller. Asks about a particular guy she basically wants to run into again. Oh, yeah, he's close by. And then, as soon as they leave, just right behind them, each cut his group just show up with the same fortune teller. He previously gives detail basically of the previous meetings. And the fortune teller gives the same exact result. Okay. And they get back and they expect to do some training, but nope. They have to go to the front lines because they found a vortex. They explain it's this magical stream that basically can create more witches, or at least mages for the sovereignty. So they are dispatched by the 8 apostles, ordered via the person who the captain reports to, and they go to the camp. And while they're there, the captain runs into a friend of hers. She's very happy to see her. It's almost like these two are kind of like she treats like a big sister. Very happy to see her, and of course she uses her support. She of course ended with her group. Her group is run into later. And then we meet one of the apostles, or at least one of the saint disciples, the nameless one. Who, by the sound of his voice, he's voiced by Patrick Stultz. Which I recognize that voice anywhere, because he's probably the first recognizable voice I've actually heard of the series. Nice to hear Patrick Stultz in an anime that's not one of the big ones. But hey, voices the character appears in these 2 episodes. He gives sort of vague instructions, oh, we need to go restore this vortex. And then during the mission, 3 teams go missing. About 10 people go missing. And the captain, and of course they report back for instructions, don't worry about it. Just continue basically going out and search for the vortex. And of course, Itsuka, as a saint disciple, technically he's a former saint disciple, and he tries to speak to him, but he's I won't answer that question because you're a lower rank. But look at the captain's there, and she managed to ask the question on his behalf. Though he didn't give an answer. And this next bit is actually in the book. I'm kind of glad they kept this part in. Where, get this. The captain she's taking a shower, and her 3 subordinates are in the next room of the tent. And she apparently forgot to get a towel. So the guys see her naked. And of course she has this funny little bit where, oh no, you 2 saw me naked because I won't get married. And I think the other guy, not Iska, points out though, that's complete bullcrap. Besides, they didn't see everything. So she's perfectly fine. And then they go out and they just happen to start. They come into a particular area, and just by sheer coincidence, they just happen to find the vortex. Yep, the very vortex looking for. Yep. Before we get to the next bit, we have Alice, who has reported this from this. Remember, one of the nobles who was a distant relative of hers, and they go see what was going on. Why did the lady report? And they have this like Lord Mask guy. Yeah, he appears in the book. Also, the woman who works with this little girl named Lady Kissing. Yes, seriously, that is the woman's name. I thought it was the name of the book. Nope, they kept in the anime, which even I thought was kind of weird. Like, why didn't someone name their daughter Kissing? That's an act of doing something, not a name you give to a little girl. Yep. And of course, Alice meets her later on, and she goes to the thing, and she sees the vortex, and apparently it's enhanced to sovereignty. Though, luckily enough, then, meanwhile, right after they find the vortex, the captain's finished. I was like, he's very happy, so he gives a big hug, and then she uses her strength to simply knock her out, and then, oh yeah, it's revealed that she's actually a witch, along with her 3 subordinates. And the name of the one just happened to be nearby. Is like, okay, you've been tried, time to execute you, all 3 of you. Like, kill. Kills 2 of them pretty easily. One of them still left alive, but they once kills him, then he tries to attack the leader of the group. Of course, Izuka stops him for a good reason, because you'd rather hit the captain. It's like, what do you want to do? We try to insubordination, and of course, Nady points out that we don't have time for this. Basically, we have the thing to stop. Oh, he's like, fine, I'll deal with you guys later. I have a bombard to take care of. And then later on, he runs Alice. Yep, he runs Alice because Alice really wanted to see. Oh, by the way, there's a funny one I forgot to mention before I continue here, where it's a slight alteration basically happened in the book, where she wants to set a date with Izuka so they can have their fight, and it's almost like they're planning a wedding, and of course, well, she's embarrassed by that, which, yes. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if in fact these two actually got married, and that probably ended the war. I wouldn't be surprised if that book series ended. Who knows? I'm only about 2 books in. So, Alice herself goes to the camp and finds it abandoned. Why the heck is the camp abandoned for? No explanation given here. Is there something come from the book? Not really, no. They never give an explanation why in the book either, why the heck this place is abandoned. And then she finds a nameless one, look up and she knows who he is. And she pretty much kind of beats him, but he gets away before he can do the final blow. And then meanwhile, though, Izuka finds the captain. Of course, before he gets there, Alice sees the captain. Look how Ren knocks before she gives any details because she knows the captain. And as for the woman who's there, she doesn't really do much of anything, because she apparently worked for the sovereignty all along. It's like her role. Once they revealed that she was a witch and brought the captain to Alice, it seems as though her role pretty much diminished. Like, oh, she's saying, oh, you're here to save me. And Lady Kissing is like, probably has no reaction at all because she's wearing a blindfold for some reason. Oh, in case you weren't in the book, they don't really give an explanation. From what I remember reading the book yesterday, they don't really give an explanation of exactly why these people wear blindfolds. They just do. Are people blind? Don't know. Though, she can clearly see powerful swords with 2 swords, one black, one white. And of course, while she bows Izuka, pretty good battle, mind you, and then he managed to defeat her by just knocking her out, because I think even he felt as though he does not want to kill little girls. He basically has no interest in doing that at all. I mean, I think in the fact that the person, I think is probably her older brother, I think so. He probably, from what I can tell, had no problem with him knocking her out because, I mean, he didn't say that it was a wrong thing for him to do. I mean, he basically knocked her out by using the butt of his sword to hit her gut, and that's how it knocked her out. And the guy, Lord Mask, that's what they call him, he apparently doesn't say anything about it at all, and of course they want to take, of course, each get first do Lady Kissing as a purebred. Excuse me. Which, okay, interesting. I like the fact they refer to it as that. It's something who's actually purely all magic. Oh yeah, they revealed the vortex. This one is nothing special because it's very low on power, and they can basically create maybe like two or three mages if they're lucky. That's it. So from their perspective, nothing worth the fight over, and even after each defeats Lady Kissing, the captain herself is basically thrown into the vortex. Each goes after her, and look up. Alice is there, who had been searching for him. She, of course, jumps in right after him. And then, of course, they reunite. Of course, he's all holding his captain. And, of course, she looks like they're about to have a moment. And then, all of a sudden, the astral spear or whatever teleports to locations. Alice, of course, basically hates the fact they interrupted basically her and Ichika. And, of course, Ichika reunites with Nene and the other guy. I forgot the guy's name. And that's how this two-parter ends. Like, okay, interesting. Yeah, the book kind of ended this way too, kind of very abruptly. Yes. Are these episodes pretty good? Are the episodes good? Yes, they're pretty good. Good animation. Got pretty good pacing too. I'd probably say in the case of these two episodes. Book itself is only 180 pages these episodes based on. And from what I could tell, they kept a lot of it in just 2 episodes, which is not bad per se. I kind of wish they would have stretched this out by 1 more episode, but I guess 2 episodes was fine. Yeah, and of course the writer was mentioning that he was not really interested in having them reunite with each other multiple times like he did in the first book. Basically, it was just 1 encounter this time. Might change book 3 when I get a chance to read it. Okay, so yeah, as in the case when I do episode 3 of this series, which we'll discuss the next 4 episode series, not 3, not 2, but 4, which is the most the series has done for adapting 4 books. Yeah, the series had the 4 books for it actually ended. So that might have come to maybe like next week or 2 at most. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular view. Next week's gonna be Comic Corner, and then I got 2 more videos to do today, and that's gonna be Shaman King and How Not the Seeming Demon Lord, and that's probably gonna be it for today. Okay, tonight's video. Bye.